Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Hentges with Beyond the Chart, and in this Asia update video, we're going to take a look at China, Hong Kong, India, Japan, and two Chinese ADR stocks, SINA and VipShop. So stay tuned. All right, let's start off here with the Shanghai Composite. It hasn't done a whole heck of a lot in the last week. The video I did last week was Wednesday the 31st. And we've basically gone up 6 points since then. We've tested this trend line, which was in place, bounced off of it so far. This still looks corrective to me. I'm still looking for this to break this trend line and break this one here for another leg down. That's what I'm looking for. The Hang Seng is a little stronger. Hang Seng continues to subdivide and pull back. I continue to count this as a zigzag wave, intermediate wave 2 pullback. And right now, if what I've done here with this Fibonacci retracement is going all the way from the top back here in April, April 2015 to the low in February of this year, and we've retraced a little over 50% of it. It's gotten above this point as of right now. Now we are getting some divergence on 2 out of the 3 indicators I'm looking at on this point, so we'll continue to watch and see if this starts to run out of steam. All right, the last one related to China is the China Large Cap ETF Fxi. Now, as I mentioned in the post last week, this mirrors, or this includes in this ETF, large cap stocks that are traded on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So that's why when you look at this, this looks very close to the way the Hang Seng Index looks. Now, the interesting thing about it, I still think it's doing the same thing that the Hang Seng is doing. It's just not pulled back nearly as far. I mean, we haven't gotten above this point, and we haven't gotten above the 50% retracement of that move. So it's this ETF's acting a lot weaker than what the Hang Seng is showing right now. And all three of, at least as of this point, all three of my indicators are showing divergence with this move. So we'll watch to see whether that move stops and reverses, or what happens with that. All right, so that's the picture on China. India continues to be strong. This is a target I've had up here for many, many weeks. This was a projection for the Fibonacci projection based on the third intermediate wave. And right now it continues to push right up into that. So we'll continue to watch that. So that continues to look very bullish on India's Nifty 50 index. The Nikkei 225 short-term trend in here is still moving positively higher. The last time, where was the 31st? Right in here. And I was looking for it to break above this high. It did. Now we've had pullback this last day or two to this, basically this level. And I'm still watching for this to continue in a fifth minor wave, complete this move. A close above this high, as I've mentioned before, I believe would kind of confirm a double bottom in here and project a much higher move on the Nikkei 225. So we'll see whether we get that or not. All right, let's take a look at SINA. SINA I last talked about on August 19th, and basically, you know, this is a rocket ship that continues to keep firing on all cylinders. It continues to push higher in here, and I believe that it's broken this longer term trend line, and you know, the wave count looks bullish to me. It looks like we have 5-wave move in here, so we could be getting ready to pause. This is a pullback zone I'm looking at for a potential pullback on it. It's down about a little over 2 points today, and it's about 1:30 in the afternoon Central Time on Wednesday, the 7th of September. And so right now, that's what I'm watching to see if this stops and starts to pull back. This is the zone I'm looking at. If it continues to push higher, I think it's looking at, come on, there we go. It's looking at this resistance zone at these previous peaks up in here in the 90 to 93 area is going to be pretty significant resistance, I believe. But right now, SINA keeps looking very, very strong. I'd like to see the moving average volume get a lot stronger. The 50-day moving average is only 1 million shares. So I'd like to see the participation get a lot higher. It's been a lot higher before. Here it's like 50 days, like back here it was like 3 million shares a day. It's just not getting it because everybody, I think, got a little disenchanted with it down here. But we'll see if it gets some enthusiasm now that it's moving. VipShop Also looks like it's broken out of a pretty solid downtrend in here. I don't have an Elliott wave. It's not quite as clear as what it is on SINA, and but the couple of things that I am seeing, it's above the 233-day moving average, the long-term moving average I use. The 55-day is rising in here. It's broken this downward trend line. It's gone to a higher high. We'll watch to see now on this pullback, where do we pull back to? Is it going to get support in this area? Right now it's at $13.99, down 22 cents. So right about at 14. So it's just right in this area. And I'd be looking for some support in here, or maybe a pullback down to this trend line. As sometimes a lot of times that's what they'll do. They'll break above the trend line, pull back to the trend line, then go. So once we get this pullback, we'll then have a higher high, a higher low, and then see if we continue to push higher again. I'll be watching for some kind of reversal and opportunity to get long down in here. So we'll continue to watch VipShop. It looks like it wants to move higher. Now the other thing I did notice, the moving average cross short term, it's just a question of how much of a short term trend are we going to get. You notice when the moving average is crossed here, we got a several week, at least a month move to the downside. The real question is how much are we going to get now? All right, so that's it. The picture this week on China and India, and we'll call it the Asia update. And what I'm looking for is what I'll be talking about next week. Next week I'm going to look at Weibo and C-Trip as my two feature stocks for China's ADRs. Weibo and C-Trip next week. All right, we're going to have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you this weekend.